20 years ago, I was a young girl in love with a boy. Despite naysayers telling us we were too young, we married our senior year of high school, and I was thankful. 3 years later, we were overjoyed to see 2 pink lines on a pregnancy test. Our first child was on her way. We would go on to be blessed with 6 more over the next 10 years, 5 girls, 2 boys. I was honored and fortunate to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was thankful. 3 years ago, my husband accepted an exciting position in Nashville, Tennessee. So we packed up and relocated from beautiful Colorado to the green hills of Tennessee, and I was thankful. 20 months ago, on a warm, sunny spring day, my husband drove up to a secluded place overlooking downtown Nashville, turned our song on the speakers loudly, and danced with me, and I was thankful. 24 hours after that dance, my husband and best friend of 20 years sent an I love you text to our children and told me he was going on a walk. 24 hours after that dance, my husband and best friend of 20 years unexpectedly and unexplainably walked to a private location and killed himself. This disorientating shock and grief tore through my insides with forceful savagery. Why? The loneliest and loudest question in the universe. I was certain I would die. I was certain I would be unable to afford raising 7 children on my own, especially since he was the sole provider. I was certain only of uncertainty. I was unable to find thankful. In the days that followed, strangers reached out to help. I learned of resources that would enable to provide for my children. I studied my children, assuring them that I would commandeer this ship and that they would be okay. And I found thankful. I went back to work for the first time in 14 years and immediately began to thrive, being promoted within a few short months. Within 6 months, I started college at Vol State and have somehow, and despite the tragedy, maintained a 4.0. My children are doing wonderfully. I've started an outreach to fellow widows and suicide survivors and seek to encourage and inspire them in their grief and healing journey, and I have found thankful. My children tell me daily I'm the strongest mom in the world, that they couldn't do it without me. They tell me I'm Wonder Woman. While they credit me for their resilience, they don't truly comprehend it is they who have given me life and courage. I tell them every single day, you're why I do what I do, and I found thankful. The Bible tells me to give thanks in all things. I'm unable to give thanks for our devastating loss. But out of the flames of tragedy, a new phoenix of truth has emerged. I'm stronger than I ever knew I could be. Out of the scorched landscape of my heart, tender green shoots are building, of hope, of trust, of love. We are thriving. I learned that my children and I are badass warriors, and I am thankful. Whew. That was heavy. Okay, so kind of moving into erotica, and this isn't kind of, I have like naughtier stuff, but this was, a little bit more PG, so this is just a short one. By the cover of night, she is allowed to shed her secrets, provocations and inclinations discovered only by the moon. Fear melts away and the serious blooms. She bites her lip as she forays into the obsidian crevasse of her mind. Like a renegade fairy, she dances with the treasure she finds, sensual and free, haunting and ugly, magical, yet with checkered hints of the ordinary. Love and loss pervade the hollows. In sophisticated and unrestrained emotion, she wallows. She loves the sharp blade of the knife of discovery, how it cuts away the false and exposes undiluted verity. Each candlelit revelation makes her whole. Read her words. Make love to her there, the expose of her soul.